G'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Alright, little post-trip update on my garden. Let's have a look and see where it got to. Okay, as per usual, I'll start with the long bed. Got this little tomato on the end. It's coming along slowly. As I said before, the ground here in this corner is not that great, so it's coming along. It's looking green, it's looking lovely. Our Trombencios, we've got a couple of fruits on them. You know, some nice big ones. They are starting to get a bit tattered and towards the end of the season. As you can see up in the new growth, they're not so bad. Down in the older growth, they're starting to die back. But, you know, they're still good for a little while yet, and we'll see what happens, see what more fruit comes out of them. Oregano and the jalapenos, of course, they're doing great guns. Our big pear tomatoes starting to suffer a bit. We did have some massive heat while I was gone, and Tina had some stuff come up which I thought might happen. So, you know, the watering didn't quite happen the way it should have, but most of them are still hanging in there. We got a few ripe fruit down there that I've got to pick and do something with. You know, not putting out the numbers that I sort of hoped for, but you know, with that week without water. Yeah. Down here at the Ramshorn, not as much ripe down here. This fella's suffering. I don't think that one's going to come back. Yeah, and that's why it's ripening up the fruit. It's thinking I'm going to die, so I'll ripen up the fruit that I've got. The little Lakota pumpkins, they're pretty much had their day. So I'll probably end up taking the fruit off those. Same with that one. Comfrey's still doing great guns. A couple of corn I put in here. They've got a massive amount of aphids. You can see the ants are cleaning up the dew from the aphids. I'm just going to leave them be. Hopefully the ladybirds will come in and clean them up. Cucamelon and the German pickling squash. That's the closest I've come to a fruit on this German pickling. Another one up here. So far it's not set anything in the way of fruit. Cucamelon setting fantastically, as it does. Fruit all over it, which is still that lovely little fresh garden snack as you're out here. This rhubarb never seems to want to set more than, you know, 2.5 stalks at any one time. We'll just keep it going. Hopefully it's going to develop a root system that's going to support the stalks a bit better. Over here we've got the paprikas. They're absolutely loaded with fruit. Masses of them. That one from last year that carried through, that's already got plenty of red on it. So yeah, that one's looks like it's finishing a lot quicker than the newer ones, which, you know, got a head start, so not a problem. Chinese onions actually looking a lot better. Same with the Chinese potato. That's looking nice and leafy, better than it was before I left. The artichoke's looking great. This little fella's just a struggle. You know, I don't think it's ever going to do well. I missed picking the one fruit that was on it, and yeah. Over here we've got the Jicama and Borage. Jicama's still just sort of trailing along. It's not really setting the world on fire. Yeah, Borage is they're finishing out, it's flowering. It's been bringing a heap of bees into the garden. The pepper bed over here, lots of peppers on it, you know, doing great. Zucchini, this one's the blackjack. You can see it's starting to get lots of powdery mildew on it. I'm still putting the odd flower out, but not been a lot of fruit out of it, so it hasn't really enjoyed this bed. Over here we've got the watermelon and beans. You can see the beans have absolutely kicked goals. Watermelon has died back. Still got a couple tucked away in there, and we might pull those out and see if they're ready when the girls get over the solo. Potato bed, again, not setting the world on fire at the moment. This one and this one need a harvest, then a few more back in. Our Egyptian walking onion, absolutely full of grass, so I've got to somehow get that out. You can see it's multiplied out massively, and there's some pretty good bulbs down there, but finally we're starting to get some heads on them. Now this is the part that the walking onion gets its name from. You can see how that started drooping over. Once they start to develop, they'll droop even more. They end up bending down and touching the ground, and these are the baby onions that then grow from that part touching the ground, and that's how the onion walks along. Triamble pumpkin, yeah, that's suffered from not watering. Cubrits really like their water. That one there I'm probably going to have to pick. It looks like the stem's died back completely on it. That one, we'll see how it does. That one's still going, so hopefully that one will get bigger. Cucumbers, again, they're suffering from end of season and the watering. Really need to take the seed off this onion and then clear the onion out of there. That side, which cops the morning sun, it's definitely sort of had its day. This side, which cops the afternoon sun and was shaded in the morning by that part, that's done better. And there's still no regrowth on the purple potatoes. Hey, our central bed, we've got a couple of leeks coming up. This little yellow pear, it's struggling, but it's still hanging on. That ramshorn, that's done. Flowers are done. Golden zucchini still hanging in there. Again, starting to suffer a bit from powdery mildew. It's just getting to that time of the season. This one was draping on the ground, my fault. So you can see it's got a lot of sort of mildew and that sort of thing going on with it, as opposed to the color of this one. But that's tied back up. We'll see how that does. This one going great. We got the taro through here, still going great. You can see lots of multiplication going on through there. This little bed here, spaghetti squash, pretty much had its day. We've got one still sitting there that needs to be picked. Pepper's doing well. Beans never really amounted much to a hill of beans. We got a couple of leeks that snapped off when I was pulling them, and they've come back up, and they look a lot better for having snapped and come back up. These little yellow pears are doing absolutely wonderful. And Astrid loves these, but I'm stealing this one. A really nice tomato. Not sweet, but they're not acidic either. Over underneath the tree, I've started some ground layering of the sweet potatoes. I'm hoping that the other ones are going to be starting to be ready to harvest soon. So I want to get some ground layering, so I've got some multiplication. As you can see, these things are living up to the morning glory reputation. They're just going and going. You know, just a massive growth underneath there. The ochre. Where it's been shaded over here, where it's shaded in there, where it's shaded in there, he's doing well. Where it's had some full sun out the front, not doing so well. So obviously for here, they need that little bit more shade. So that's something to think of next time I plant them out. Here we've got the ground apple, Yacon. You see, had a bit of dieback at the top from lack of water, but with some more water on them, coming in strong again from the bottom. So they're back to being happy little Vegemites. This here is the white sweet potato. You know, that thing has some massive growth on it. And if it bears as heavy as it puts out vine growth, then it's gonna be great. But here we've got the turmeric. This is the Tamilawaki. Great big plant, not putting a lot more shoots out, which I would have liked. And this one here is the Madras, which has put extra shoots out. Yeah, both of them are doing strong. The store-bought ginger, doing great. Lots of new shoots on it. So, yep, really happy with that. And the store-bought turmeric has actually put in an appearance. So I'm awfully glad I did put that one that I wasn't sure about in there. And lastly, out the front, we have the coffee plants. You know, at the end of the day, even if the rest of the garden had died, as long as these guys made it, I would be happy. You know, you can see this one, despite the fact that it had that knockback, that has come back as a lovely little bush. And this thing has just grown and grown. That's put in a fantastic year of growth. You know, we'll be at the point, not yet, but soon, where they'll start coming inside. But yeah, really happy with the way they've gone this year, especially with the knockback that this thing had. That is a dwarf anyway, so it's supposed to be a small plant. But yeah, it's really done well coming back from snapping off pretty much most of the plant. All right, chicken's doing absolutely fantastic still. New ladies have started to produce. Frilly, I think, is just freeloading nowadays. And Betty's producing as well. That's 2 days worth of eggs. I'm getting 3 pullet-sized eggs and 1 large egg per day. So yeah, really happy with the way the girls are going. All right, well, thank you very much everyone for watching, and bye for now.